Tiger Woods rocks the pale and placid world of professional golf.
He elevated being a golf star from to actual sex symbol.
The kid out of California rules the links with a level of skill and self-control unlike any the sport has ever seen.
He was never really a party animal because he knew he was destined for greatness.
Tiger smashes records to become the highest paid athlete in the world. He even caps his good fortune by marrying a beautiful fashion model and starting a family. But as Tiger's fame grows, the spoils of his success become too attractive to resist.
Tiger's entire reputation was built on being smart, responsible, and disciplined, and now it just seems like a big lie.
He's a liar, he's a cheat, he's a sex addict, he's a gambler.
Every cheater waits in fear for the day their sins are revealed.
This impacted so many lives on so many levels.
Everybody goes into damage control.
To a celebrity, image is everything. And when that image is destroyed, can it be rebuilt? You be the judge. Celebrity damage control. Tiger Woods becomes a professional golfer at the age of 21. It's the summer of 1996, and since that time, he goes on to win 105 tournaments, 79 of those on the PGA Tour. After winning his second Masters in 2001, Tiger becomes the first ever to hold all 4 professional major golf championships at the same time. Tiger holds a lot of firsts: the youngest to win the Masters, the first champion of African heritage, and one of the only celebrities to keep over 200 sexual liaisons secret from their wife and the public. When Tiger's infidelities come to light, the world is both shocked and disappointed in their hero.
I have made you question who I am and how I could have done the things I did.
But they're also curious how a public figure could keep a secret so well hidden. He must have had accomplices. In 2009, when the scandal breaks, literally overnight, Tiger falls fast and hard. And when allegations of heavy gambling and a nasty personality are also piled on, Tiger's publicists have a tsunami to deal with. How will they ever place Tiger back onto his pedestal that now feels miles out of reach? But 34 years earlier, on December 30th, 1975, in the Southern California city of Cypress, Vietnam veteran and former Green Beret Earl Woods and his wife Kultida celebrate the birth of their first child, a son named Eldrick. The proud parents nicknamed their little boy Tiger, in tribute to one of Earl's old buddies from the Vietnam War. Though Earl discovered the game of golf late in life, it becomes something of an obsession, one he passes on to his son, giving Tiger his first golf club before he's even 1 year old. To Earl's amazement, Tiger teaches himself how to swing just by watching his father practice in the garage. Inspired by his son's enthusiasm for the game, Earl begins coaching Tiger on the ins and outs of hitting a ball down the green. By the time Tiger's only 2, word spreads throughout California about the toddler with better form than most old duffers who've been at the sport for years.
I've seen footage of Tiger Woods when he was golfing, when he was, I think he was 5. There's been footage of him when he's 2 even. And it's unbelievable how much raw talent that the kid had. You could tell that he was just born to swing a golf club.
The kid that will later set the world of golf on fire is already a media sensation.
Certainly, he made the connection early on in life that fame, golf, and fortune all went together.
Adulation isn't the only attention Tiger receives, however. At school, he stands out for a different reason. With an Asian mother and a black father, and living in a predominantly white city, Tiger is the only child of color in his kindergarten class.
The other kids at school actually made fun of him. And according to Earl, on the very first day, other children actually tied him to a tree.
And so Tiger, not surprisingly, was nervous, developed a stutter, as we often see that some children do. And Tiger was so determined that he was going to get through this stutter that he actually did it. And he did it, from what we know, without any professional help. And I think this speaks volumes, if you will, as to how strong-willed Tiger is in everything that he does. He is a true competitor.
Determined not to allow the prejudice of others to keep him down, Tiger continues to strive to excel at the game that he loves. Supported by his parents, who willingly make huge financial sacrifices to enter him in tournaments, it doesn't take long for Tiger to make his mark.
Tiger wins his first tournament when he's only 8. He's playing against kids that are much older than him. He's just got so much talent.
By the time he turns 14, Tiger has won 5 junior world championships, supported every step of the way by his loving but demanding parents.
Tiger's parents were determined that Tiger was going to be the greatest golfer, a changer of history. And they made such an emotional and financial investment in this young man. In return, they expected him to be excellent, to be the best, to be perfect. And after a while, that kind of expectation took a toll on Tiger.
At just 15, Tiger becomes the youngest U.S. junior amateur golf champion of all time and is voted Golf Digest's Amateur Player of the Year.
At this point, you could tell that this guy is going to be in the game. He's already got his coaches in place. He's got a sports psychologist. He's got everything around him that's making him into the person that he's going to be. And now it's just time will tell if he has what it takes to finish it through.
Though he considers his father both his mentor and his best friend, Tiger is also lovingly devoted to his mother. Though Kultida hides from the media spotlight, Tiger considers her an equal ingredient to his early success.
So Tiger Woods was raised a Buddhist. He was raised in a very tight-knit family, and he adored his mother. He doted on her. He promised his dad that when he grew up and made it big, he would take care of her, and he did.
Though he loves his parents, Tiger is also aware of a haunting secret. In 1992, despite being a quiet and awkward teen, Tiger finds a girlfriend, Dina Gravel. It's to her that he divulges a big and painful secret. Though he loves and admires his father, he knows for a fact that Earl has never been faithful to his mother and has had a bad habit of sneaking around with other women behind her back.
Tiger would call her up in tears, crying that his dad was with another woman. Earl had a lot of affairs, and Tiger knew all about them.
This was sort of a dilemma for him, because here he had a father who was telling him how perfect he needed to be and have all this self-control. But at the same time, he knew that his dad was out there messing around.
In 1994, at 18 years of age, Tiger Woods heads to Stanford University, one of the first schools that had shown an interest in recruiting him, sending its first letter when he was only 13. Though he leaves Dinah, his first love, behind when he heads to Stanford, he promises they'll stay together. It's a promise he doesn't keep.
Tiger sent a letter to his girlfriend to break up with her, saying that he needed to focus on golf. But I think he was being groomed for greatness at this point, and she didn't fit in with the Tiger image that they were putting together.
At Stanford, Tiger once again finds himself the brunt of jokes, with other students nicknaming him Urkel in reference to a popular nerdy TV character. The taunts and name-calling at Stanford stop when Tiger leaves the junior ranks behind to become the youngest ever winner of the U.S. Amateur Championship. It's a title he'll claim again and again in 1995 and in 1996.
Success leads to success in his eyes, and every win just built on everything that he was doing. So he was just taught from a young age that if you led by 5 strokes after 9, then you better be leading by 6 strokes after 10.
The Stanford student body votes him Male Freshman of the Year. In the following school year, Tiger makes Stanford even prouder by capturing the NCAA Individual Men's Golf Championship.
By 1996, he had won the National Amateur Championship for his age group 6 years in a row. The next logical step would be to go pro.
Which he does that same year. The 20-year-old Tiger immediately signs endorsement deals with Nike and Titleist, valued at $60 million.
True to his word, Tiger buys his mom a huge mansion. Earl, however, is still living at their old house. The Woods are still married, but they don't live together anymore.
In his first year as a pro, Tiger doesn't disappoint, winning the Las Vegas International and the Disney Oldsmobile Classic. Sports Illustrated names Tiger its Sportsman of the Year. Soon, he'll be the richest, most successful sportsman in the world. But the seeds of his downfall are already sown.
He grew up seeing his dad have a lot of affairs, and later on, that type of behavior would also cause his own downfall.
In 1996, Tiger Woods has just gone pro and is on the cusp of becoming one of the greatest golfers of all time. With a public image controlled by a group of agents, managers, and advisors known as Team Tiger, Tiger is presented not only as a world-class athlete, but also as an example of what can be achieved through determination, skill, and hard work. It's a role Tiger embraces as an ambassador for the sport of golf, attracting a new and diverse wave of multicultural fans.
You've become a role model for young players. You're only young yourself. Is it fair, do you think, that you have all these extra responsibilities on your shoulders?
No, I think it's an honor and a privilege that people think that highly of you. If you're in a position to influence people in a positive way, I think you're very lucky.
Tiger changed the image of golf. He was young, he was good looking, he was African American, plus a bunch of other nationalities. Traditionally, golf has always been a white man's sport, and he made it cool to play. Before that, it was what your dad did. It was what your doctor did, your lawyer.
Golf is an old man's game. I golf, but still, it's an old man's game.
He brought it to the next generation, and he made it very, very popular.
He elevated being a golf star from to actual sex symbol.
In 1997, Tiger Woods shocks the world by winning the Masters, perhaps the most prestigious tournament in all of golf.
Augusta National, where the Masters is held, only started accepting black members in 1990. Tiger Woods wins the Masters only 7 years later at the age of 21. That's pretty astounding.
Not only does he win, he does so by a record-breaking 12 strokes, the widest margin in Masters history.
In 1997, when Tiger wins the Masters, the first thing that you see is Earl Woods coming out to give his son the biggest bear hug that you can imagine.
At just 21 years of age, he is both the youngest player and the first person of color to ever win the tournament.
This was a powerful moment, not only for Tiger and his father, but for every father and son that were watching this. This establishes Tiger as a family man.
By the end of the year, Tiger sets yet another record by claiming over $2 million in prize money on the PGA circuit. Ranked #1 golfer in the world, despite having been pro for only 42 weeks, Tiger is voted PGA Player of the Year and is named Male Athlete of the Year by the Associated Press.
At this point, he's not just an athlete, he's a celebrity and one of the biggest ones on the planet. So it's not hard to see that some of that success may have gone to his head.
As his popularity grows, the money, fame, and adulation begin to become a distraction for Tiger, luring him away from the golf course. Instead, he begins spending more and more time in Las Vegas, where he develops a passion for poker and gambling.
Tiger's brand really didn't include Las Vegas. He was supposed to be above all that.
As soon as he got to Sin City, he became much more vulnerable to what was implanted in his mind, that success meant that you can do whatever you wanted, even if you're in committed relationships. You can have all of the women, all of the money, all of the trappings of being rich and famous and being the best.
The excitement of his new lifestyle comes with a steep price, however, as many predict the hedonistic partying will take a toll on Woods' concentration, dedication, and devotion to the game that made him famous. In 1998, Tiger follows his best year with one of his worst, winning only one PGA event and finishing the year 4th in earnings.
A common thing amongst all sports is the sophomore slump. You see it in the NHL, you see it in the NFL, you see it in the NBA, you see it everywhere, where somebody will have a phenomenal first year, and then the next year, you just have that little bit of a letdown where you think that they're going to keep growing up so much, but they just can't hold up that kind of pressure.
Determined to show the world that he's more than just a flash in the pan, Tiger returns with a roar in '99. Winning his second PGA major title, Tiger is again voted Player of the Year by the PGA.
Tiger is still setting records for the amount of prize money that he brings in. He brings in $6.6 million in 1999 alone.
Winning almost every tournament he enters, from the US to the British Open, Woods reestablishes himself as the most dominant golfer on the planet, becoming only the 5th player in history to win a career Grand Slam, winning all of the sport's major championships. Incredibly, he is only 24 years old.
Tiger's mindset at this point is that he still has a long way to go if he wants to be named the best golfer ever. He has not established that yet in his career.
Tiger Woods has made himself into what appears to all the world to be a near-perfect athlete, a man vested with talent, poise, skill, and confidence.
If we saw him as perfect, it's because that's how he was presented in Nike commercials, by marketers, by publicists. We were kind of shown this idea that Tiger could do no wrong, and at some point, he probably started to believe it too.
By 2001, there is no longer any question that Tiger Woods is not only the best golfer in the world, but indisputably the greatest of all time.
Tiger's impact on the game of golf was huge. They started tiger-proofing the golf course. They have an actual term for tiger-proofing because he was so dominant on the course. What they started to do was they would make the holes so much longer because he hit the ball so much further than everybody else. However, this ended up giving him an advantage anyway. But what it did do as well was introduce fitness to the rest of the game of golf. Tiger has always been a physical specimen. He's always hit the gym. No other golfers are known to do that. So basically what he did was force all the other PGA members to start hitting the gym so that they could hit the ball as far as he could.
Despite his professional success, or perhaps because of it, the one thing missing from Tiger's life is romance. That all changes, however, at the 2001 British Open, when Tiger crosses paths with Elin Nordegren, a Swedish model working as a nanny for golfer Jesper Parnevik.
Elin was this beautiful psychology major who had little to no interest in golf or golfers. She actually turned down Tiger's first request for a date.
She just wasn't into being a groupie. I believe that's what got him to really pay attention. Someone who was beautiful, intelligent, and certainly different in the approach that she had, which was she couldn't care less about him.
Never one to give up easily, however, Tiger proves to be as persistent with Elin as he is on the links, and in time convinces her to give him a shot.
Elin was great for Tiger's image. She was beautiful, she was low-key, she was educated, she wasn't this little money-grubbing, gold-digging tart. She fit right in with the entire golden boy image that they had created for him, and she was just the perfect fit.
As Tiger's relationship with Elin grows more serious, however, his good fortune takes a turn. After changing his style of swing, Tiger believes it has damaged his left knee. In December 2002, in order to repair the damage, Tiger goes under the knife. Although he's assured by surgeons that he'll recover in full, the operation will sideline him, forcing him to miss the first 5 tournaments of the following year. For Tiger, it's more than a disappointment. It's also the first real threat to his dominance of the sport. It's rumored that Tiger uses this off time while recuperating to return to his partying ways in the City of Sin. Taking regular flights to Las Vegas, the young millionaire pals around with his sports idols, NBA legends Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley.
He would go there, hang out, and be ready to spend money. And when you're a celeb, Vegas rolls out the red carpet. He was one of the city's favorite guests. And if there's anything that casinos love, it's money.
All of this was his darker persona, the one that nobody ever got to see, but it really appealed to his seedier side, which ended up being the real Tiger.
Though Tiger becomes a familiar face to the big money players in Vegas, It's an aspect of his life he keeps secret from the public.
The more that you have to constrain yourself and sit on emotion and sit on passion, the more that explodes. All of these years of being Mr. Perfect, when the opportunity came for him to completely let loose, boy, did he let loose, to the point of where he got himself in big, big trouble.
February 16, 2003, he returns to the game. Winning 5 of the 18 tournaments he enters, Tiger fails to capture a single championship in a major for the first time since 1999.
The word on the street is that the era of Tiger is over, but what he doesn't know is that the darkest days are still ahead.
Having not won a major in 5 years, fans are worried about Tiger's game. But he, however, has other things on his mind. On October 5, 2004, in a ceremony beneath the Caribbean sun of Barbados, Tiger marries Swedish model Elin Nordegren. As armed security guards patrol the perimeter of the ultra-exclusive Sandy Lane Resort, Tiger and Elin exchange vows before a star-studded crowd of 200 family and friends.
So Tiger decides to get married at the age of 28. And I think maybe it was love, but it was also wanting to have this perfect image. Beautiful young wife. This adds to this lie, pretty much, that Tiger was living, that he was Mr. Perfect and therefore needed the perfect family.
Though the wedding draws a huge amount of media attention, Elin shies away from the spotlight, refusing interviews and doing her best to maintain a private life away from the glare of celebrity.
Her not seeking the spotlight and not capitalizing on his celebrity was a really good fit for him. He was raised in a house where the good wife stayed to the side and kept quiet and left more of the stage for him.
Inspired perhaps by the new love in his life, Tiger wins the Buick Invitational in January 2005. Over the course of the next year, he wins 6 championships, including claiming the Masters crown for the 4th time. Once again named PGA Player of the Year, Tiger leaves little room for doubt that there is still no one in the world who is better than him at what he does.
Just an incredible amount of success. So you would think someone with that kind of luck would try hard to not screw it up.
On May 3, 2006, however, Tiger Woods suffers his greatest loss when his father and mentor, Earl Woods, dies after battling cancer for 2 years. In a statement posted on his website, Tiger eulogized the man who taught him everything he knew. "My dad was my best friend and greatest role model, and I will miss him deeply," Tiger writes. "I wouldn't be where I am today without him."
Tiger led a very isolated life, and Team Tiger was handpicked by his dad, Earl. And Earl was the chief guy. He was the guapo, the man. And Tiger loved his dad.
But some shocking information will later be revealed.
When he got the news about his dad, he was with a woman, and that woman wasn't Elin.
That Tiger isn't faithful to Elin is a secret the superstar wants to keep from her, the press, and his fans.
Well, of course he does.
A little over a year after his father's death, Tiger and Elin celebrate the birth of their first child, a daughter named Sam Alexis Woods. Together, the happy young family appears the perfect picture of domestic bliss, with Tiger at the head, the consummate family man. The truth, however, is a very different story. Behind the scenes, Team Tiger has been working tirelessly to keep stories of the golfer's infidelities out of the press.
His publicity team, oh my gosh, can you imagine keeping this quiet for that long? Either he was really, really good and these girls wanted to be quiet so he'd come back and give them more, or they paid them off all along the way.
In the summer of 2007, Tiger gives a blockbuster interview for a cover story with Men's Fitness magazine. Though the interview doesn't reveal any bombshells, to those in the know, the real surprise is that it happens at all since Tiger is committed to another magazine.
Golf Digest was giving hundreds of thousands of dollars to Tiger's personal charity just to ensure they had exclusive access to him.
What goes unreported is that the men's fitness story is part of a payoff to multimedia giant American Media Inc., which also owns the National Enquirer. Editors at the notorious tabloid are sitting on a story that could prove devastating to Tiger's career and public image.
They found out Tiger was having a fling with the waitress at the restaurant where he and Elin go for breakfast.
By tracking Woods, the Enquirer has landed proof that he and 34-year-old Mindy Lawton began an affair in 2006 that lasted for well over a year. In exchange for participating in the cover story for Men's Fitness, American media allegedly agrees to deep six the Enquirer report and not reveal Tiger's secret to the world.
At this time, there were hundreds of millions of dollars at stake. His team would have done anything to keep it quiet. They paid people off, the Enquirer, everybody that it took just to keep this quiet. But at this time now, it's getting harder and harder to do that because he's making more mistakes. He's being a little bit more obvious because he's believing he's bulletproof by this time.
Even though he got away with not being exposed for his sexual dalliances, he couldn't just walk away. He couldn't learn his lesson and went deeper into his emotional and sexual destruction.
And there's another lesson he's not learning: to pay attention to physical injuries.
Tiger suffered a double stress fracture in his left tibia 2 weeks before the US Open. Doctors said that he should take time off to heal. He ignored that. It was really a stupid decision, and he ends up missing half the season because of it.
In early 2008, Tiger again goes in for surgery.
To hear Tiger tell it, he's almost happy that the surgery is happening. He can take some time off, he can spend time with his family, but it sounds a lot like Team Tiger spin.
As TV ratings for golf take a nosedive in the wake of Tiger's absence, he and Elin receive good news at home. In September, the Woods publicly announced that they're expecting their second child.
The President-elect of the United States, Barack H. Obama.
At the start of 2009, Tiger receives one of his greatest honors, as he's invited to speak at the inauguration celebration for President Barack Obama.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
In February, Elin gives birth to the couple's son, Charlie Axel Woods. And Forbes names Tiger the first athlete in sports history to earn $1 billion in his career. In November of 2009, the National Enquirer lands yet another story, alleging Tiger Woods isn't the wholesome family man Team Tiger wants the world to see. And this time, no amount of backroom deals will keep the details out of the press. In a shocking front-page story, the Enquirer reports that Tiger has been carrying on yet another affair, this time with nightclub promoter Rachel Yucatel.
By now, the story has gotten too big. They'd already gotten their payoff for the last one, for quashing the last one. Nothing big enough to quash this story.
Tiger's infidelity had almost become something of an open secret. There's only so much messing around that you can do before people start to talk.
The Enquirer story is about to wreak havoc on Tiger Woods' life, with his darkest secrets revealed to the world. The revelations will shatter not only his career, but his family.
This was more than just a downfall. This was an avalanche.
The National Enquirer has printed a front-page story accusing Tiger Woods of cheating on his wife with nightclub promoter Rachel Yucatel.
Rachel Yucatel, the other woman, denies this story, but no one's believing it.
The scandal that follows will threaten the legacy of the man many consider to be one of the greatest athletes of his generation. Reportedly, on November 27th, Tiger's wife Elin sends Rachel Yucatel, the woman named in the Enquirer report, a text message in the middle of the night using Tiger's phone and pretending to be him. When Yucatel responds, Elin realizes the report is true. Her husband, she now knows, is a cheater.
Tiger, meanwhile, is in bed. He took a sleeping pill, but he wakes up in a big hurry when he hears his wife screaming.
Confronted by his wife, Tiger grabs his cell phone and barricades himself in the bathroom. He texts Yucatel, alerting her to what's happened, writing, "She knows."
They text back and forth, and Tiger says he's probably going to get divorced. Elin comes out, grabs the phone, and she goes ballistic.
Enraged, Elin reportedly goes on the attack, throwing the phone at Tiger and hitting him in the face, chipping a tooth. Following with a barrage of scrapes and punches, Tiger is forced to wrestle her away before running out of the house, barefoot.
She wasn't done yet, though. According to the press, Elin grabs the first thing that she sees, a golf club, naturally, and goes after him.
Fleeing to his Ford Escalade, Tiger locks himself in the SUV.
As he does this, he's yelling, "Are you happy now? You ruined our Thanksgiving," as if it's her fault.
I find it fascinating that Tiger getting busted, instead of saying, you know, you got me, I was wrong, all he can think about is how she destroyed their Thanksgiving. It's all about his own self and sexual gratification.
As Tiger steers the SUV out of the driveway of their mansion, Elin gives chase, climbing into a golf cart. Still woozy from the side effects of the sleeping pill, Tiger steers the SUV first into a row of hedges, then over a curb and into a fire hydrant before crashing into a large tree. When police arrive at the scene, it's almost 2:30 a.m. Tiger is in the street, bleeding and in and out of consciousness. Two back windows of the Escalade have been smashed out, and Elin is hysterical, still holding the golf club.
For the record, she maintains she smashed the window so she could pull him out of the car, but he's 6'0", 185 pounds. She's 5'10", 135 pounds, so you do the math.
There are a lot of rumors around what really happened that night. We'll never really know what happened. Me, I would have beat him with a golf club.
When an ambulance finally arrives at the scene, Tiger is still in and out of consciousness as he's transported to Health Central Hospital. After being treated and released from the hospital, Tiger informs police that he won't be cooperating with the investigation. He's later fined a mere $164 over the incident for careless driving.
When you find out something like this has just happened to your client, everybody goes into damage control. It's hard to do when the police got there before the publicist did. So it's really, really hard to wrangle the story back in once it's gotten out to this extent. It was all over the country before daybreak.
As for the details of what happened that night, Woods is mysteriously silent and refuses to speak to the press. Team Tiger releases a statement acknowledging only a minor car accident, but offering no other comments.
If there's one thing that Tiger likes, it's having control, and he is losing it. So he tries to shut down the gossip and disappear from the public eye, but not being around just gives the press more stuff to talk about.
By not responding directly to the cheating allegations, the statement ends up raising more questions than it answers.
I think this was a big mistake, the cover-up. They were so conditioned in covering things up and keeping things quiet that he probably didn't think that this perfect brand of his would ever get this out of control and go this big.
For critics eager to poke holes in Tiger's good guy image, the Thanksgiving incident provides new ammunition. Smelling blood in the water, the media publishes stories questioning whether Tiger's good guy image could have been manufactured from the start. Some of the allegations suggest that Tiger, his father Earl, and Team Tiger have a long history of skirting the rules and gaming the system to make more money.
The world was just shocked. All of a sudden, this guy, who was the token all-American guy, is no longer unblemished. This was no small story. This wasn't somebody getting fired. This impacted so many lives on so many levels.
More fuel is thrown on the fire when Jamie Grubbs, a cocktail waitress, announces that she has also enjoyed an affair with Woods. As proof, she offers steamy photos and over 300 text messages from Tiger, including one in which he begs her to erase his previous texts, writing, "My wife went through my phone and may be calling you. You gotta do this for me, quickly."
It was all a lie. Remember, this guy was an icon. He had this pristine brand. People actually raised their children to aspire to be like him. And then all of this comes crashing down. His PR team was going crazy, always knew how to handle things before it got out of control. Now they're chasing the storm. It's like trying to rein in a hurricane.
In a desperate bid to repair the marriage and get in front of the story, Team Tiger enrolls the couple in counseling and trumpets the news to the press. However, that story is overshadowed in the media by reports that Tiger has offered to renegotiate his prenuptial agreement with Elin. The reports claim Tiger has offered Elin $5 million to stay with him, and another $55 million if she agrees to remain as his wife for the next 2 years.
Him trying to pay Elin off to stay, this just goes along with all the payoffs that they've always done. I'm sure this came from his publicity team, because wouldn't it be great to have the good wife stand by her man with the scandal and make everybody believe that everything's forgiven? It's not going to happen.
As the media frenzy continues, Rachel Yucatel cancels a press conference amid reports she's been paid off to the tune of $10 million in hush money. Despite Team Tiger's best efforts, however, the scandal refuses to go away as more and more women begin coming forward with similar stories and accusations. By the time Team Tiger releases a statement addressing the scandal, 12 to 14 different women have come forward alleging affairs with Woods. The women range from waitresses to porn stars to professional escorts.
I remember hearing rumors that Tiger's security guards were with him at the bar, and they would go and source out girls for him and bring them back to the table to introduce them to Tiger.
So the image has been shattered, lies have been revealed. If this guy ever wants acceptance again, he's going to have to come out and tell the truth, which is kind of tough for a guy who named his yacht Privacy. But people want the truth and they want contrition.
In his first carefully prepared statement to the press, Tiger admits to and apologizes for his infidelity, while also announcing a plan to take an indefinite hiatus from professional golf.
In light of all that's happened, there's some standard procedure that goes with this sort of thing. First, he has to apologize. Second, he has to lay low. Third, he goes to rehab.
Despite Tiger's best efforts to stem the tide of the controversy, the story refuses to go away, amid reports that Elin has begun appearing in public without the large diamond ring and band Tiger gave her on their wedding day.
Tiger wasn't just cheating, but seemed to be addicted to the sex. So it was the end for them once the revelation of the cheating came out. And it didn't help when it was said that Tiger was having unprotected sex. Elin wasn't having it. She called it a day.
For Tiger, the bad news is growing, and it isn't just limited to home. Reaction to the scandal by his illustrious group of corporate sponsors is swift and brutal. Within weeks of the story breaking, Gatorade, Gillette, Procter & Gamble, Tag Heuer, Accenture, and AT&T are only some that announced they're dropping their sponsorships.
He's a liar, he's a cheat, he's a sex addict, he's a gambler. He's mean, egotistical, rude. What brand would want somebody like this representing them?
Tiger's entire reputation was built on being smart, responsible, and disciplined, and now it just seems like a big lie.
Tiger has hit rock bottom. His cheating ways have cost him his reputation, his career, and perhaps even his family. The road back to the top will be long, if not impossible. In the wake of a damning report by the National Enquirer, close to 14 women have come forward, alleging to have carried on affairs with Tiger Woods. The scandal shatters not only Tiger's brand, but also his family.
He had the money, he had the beautiful wife, he had the children, he had the perfect family, he had the world at his feet, but yet he threw it all away.
Team Tiger definitely knew that there were all these things going on in the background. I don't think that they handled the situation properly. That being said, I don't think there is a proper way to handle this situation because it was beyond messed up.
With the media circus swirling around him, Tiger begins 2010 by enrolling as a patient into the Pine Grove Behavioral Health and Addiction Services in Mississippi, where he begins treatment for sexual addiction.
In the publicity business, when things have gotten this out of control, the only option left is rehab. That's their way of saying, it really isn't my fault, my demons made me do it, but now I've seen the light and I'm seeking help.
In February 2010, after completing the 6-week program, Tiger makes his first public statements regarding the scandal. At a carefully orchestrated press conference, surrounded by 40 chosen friends, family, and associates, Tiger calls the past year the toughest of his life. Appearing beside his mother, but without Elin, Tiger apologizes to his family, friends, peers, and fans saying, "I want to say to each of you simply and directly, I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in."
He had a lot of nice things to say about Elin at the press conference, but the most telling thing was she wasn't even there.
I remember the world kind of stopping as soon as Tiger's press conference hit the airwaves. It was just very strange. It was so robotic. It was so well delivered and so rehearsed that you could tell that there was some emotion behind it, but you knew that he was just trained to go out there and give this speech and hopefully everything would be over and done with.
He reads every single word. He didn't even bother to memorize one of the lines that his team wrote for him, because he obviously didn't write this.
Though derided by critics as a farce in which the press was prevented from asking a single question, public reaction to the press conference is positive.
It was horrible. The press hated it, but the public ate it up. They love an apology, especially from one of their idols.
Polls show that people truly believe Tiger is sorry, and that's all people really want. Because of this, a lot of his sponsors actually stick with him, including his biggest one, Nike.
Though Tiger's popularity is at an all-time low, his self-imposed exile from the world of golf turns out to be bad not just for his own pocketbook, but also for the PGA. With Tiger absent from the sport's biggest tournaments, TV viewership for golf events plummets, putting a big dent in the association's bottom line.
People may not like or trust him, but they do like to watch him play golf. In fact, when he's not on the course, even Augusta, viewership drops about 30% on average. Because golf is traditionally a gentleman's game, and Tiger Woods is no gentleman. But his constituency isn't your typical golf fan either.
When Tiger finally returns to the green later that year, he arrives just in time to compete in the illustrious Masters tournament, the site of so many of his previous triumphs. This time, however, he places fourth, with a performance that's a far cry from his usual dominance.
For anybody else at Augusta National, fourth is amazing, but we're talking about Tiger Woods, and he's not happy with anything except for first.
Tiger's recovery from the scandal that almost ended his career is bolstered by a surprising development later in 2012, when he meets and begins dating Olympic hero Lindsey Vonn.
Tiger pairing up with Lindsey Vonn is a brilliant PR move. This is something that you would take from old Hollywood when they would put two stars together to make this team. She's clean, she's pretty, she's likable, she's a good athlete. People like her, and she looks at him in this way that she sees all of his redeeming qualities, which makes us want to take another look.
In 2013, Tiger Woods manages to achieve what few imagined he ever would, returning to the top of the golf world, ranking #1 for the first time since October 2010, just ahead of Rory McIlroy.
This will definitely mar his place in history. There's been a lot of factors that have contributed. He's had body changes, he's had swing changes, coaching changes, caddy changes. There have been so many things that have changed in his life.
Voted 2013 PGA Tour Player of the Year by his peers, the honor demonstrates just how much he's still respected, despite the scandal. It's a tribute to Tiger's ability to put the past behind him and get on with the game.
People want him to succeed because the golf community needs that 30% viewership that he brings in and all the dollars.
So yeah, I think Tiger did redeem himself, but it's still a long road to redemption for Tiger Woods.